It begins on a cold December night in 1968 on a deserted stretch of Lake Herman Road, one of those places where the dark seems heavier, like it's pressing against the windows of your car. David Faraday and Betty Lou Jensen sit together, unaware that someone is watching them. Not randomly, not impulsively, but with a strange calmness, as if the moment has already been rehearsed in his mind. When officers arrive later, the scene is so unnervingly quiet it feels like the night itself is holding its breath. No footprints, no fingerprints, nothing left behind, just silence, and the sense that whatever happened here wasn't only a crime, but a message. 7 months pass. Summer arrives. Another couple is parked at Blue Rock Springs, talking softly under the warm night sky. Then headlights appear behind them. A man steps out of a vehicle and approaches. What happens next is fast and controlled. Minutes later, the Vallejo Police Department receives a phone call. The voice is steady, composed, almost casual. The caller takes responsibility for what happened and claims he was responsible for the attack on Lake Herman Road as well. Then he hangs up. No emotion, no hesitation, just a click followed by quiet. Days later, 3 newspapers receive letters from someone calling himself the Zodiac. His handwriting is sharp, unusual, almost carved into the page. He demands that the letters be published or more people will be harmed. Attached to each letter is a cipher filled with symbols that look like they came from a secret organization. At the bottom of each page sits a circle with a cross through it, a symbol the world doesn't yet realize will soon become iconic, chilling, and unforgettable. The newspapers print the ciphers, and suddenly all of California becomes a code-breaking arena. Everyone, from teachers to teenagers, scientists to hobbyists, tries to decipher the message. But the cipher isn't cracked by elite cryptographers. Instead, it's solved by a schoolteacher and his wife at their kitchen table. And the message is deeply unsettling. It speaks about taking lives as if it were a game. No remorse, no sense of reality. At the end, the writer says he wanted to reveal his identity because it would interfere with what he calls his afterlife plans. Investigators look at the decoded message and wonder whether this is delusion, manipulation, or something far more dangerous. Weeks later, another attack occurs at Lake Berryessa. A couple enjoying the day is confronted by a man wearing a dark hood with the Zodiac S symbol on the front. The situation unfolds slowly, deliberately, and with a disturbing sense of performance, as if he wants to be seen, recognized, and remembered. Before leaving, he writes a note on the victim's car door, listing the dates of his previous crimes and signing his symbol. It feels less like a message and more like branding. But his boldest move comes next. In the middle of San Francisco's busy streets, a taxi driver named Paul Stein is targeted. Witnesses see a man leaving the cab after the incident, calmly wiping surfaces and tearing off a piece of the driver's shirt before walking away. A radio miscommunication leads officers to search for the wrong description, and because of that mistake, they unknowingly walk right past the Zodiac. Days later, the Chronicle receives a letter. Inside is the torn piece of Paul Stein's shirt. The writer mocks police efforts and casually suggests he may target children next. That single threat shakes the city. School buses receive police escorts. Parents grow more protective. The entire community moves with quiet fear. And the Zodiac knows the world is watching. He escalates. He changes styles. He shifts patterns. He sends letters, ciphers, diagrams, threats, and riddles. Some investigators think he has military training. Others believe he's obsessed with ancient languages. Others think he simply enjoys creating chaos. The only consistent thing about him is that he is inconsistent on purpose. Suspect lists grow. Tips flood in. Each new name seems promising. Strange habits, suspicious comments, unusual histories. But every time investigators think they've found their man, the evidence falls apart. Arthur Lee Allen becomes the most talked about suspect due to his behavior and background, but nothing ever conclusively links him to the case. His presence hangs over the investigation like a shadow that refuses to take shape. And still, the letters continue. Some neat, some messy, some angry, some mocking, others oddly playful. The tone shifts so often that experts can tell whether it's intentional or a sign of someone unraveling, or simply someone who wants profiling to be impossible. Then suddenly, everything stops. No letters, no calls, no new clues. To the public, it feels like the nightmare ended. But to investigators, the silence feels calculated. A disappearance without capture isn't failure for the Zodiac, it's triumph. Over time, the legend grows. Documentaries, books, films, internet theories. The Zodiac transforms from a criminal into a cultural myth, part fact, part fear, part unanswered question. Decades later, in 2020, the infamous Z340 cipher is finally solved. But instead of revealing a name, motive, or confession, the message simply mocks the world again, claiming he has no fear of consequences and taking pride in the attention his story still receives. With modern technology, investigators revisit old evidence, DNA tests, digital handwriting analysis, new suspects. Every few years, someone claims the case is solved, but the evidence always turns out incomplete, inconclusive, or incorrect. Even now, authorities occasionally receive letters from people claiming to be the Zodiac. Most are hoaxes, but a few contain details that make investigators pause, details that were never released publicly. And that leaves one final, disturbing possibility. Did the Zodiac disappear? Or did he simply evolve? One of the later unsolved Zodiac letters ends with a line investigators can't ignore. "I am waiting for a good movie about me. When they do, I will do my thing again." The idea that he viewed himself as a performer, not just an offender, casts a new shadow on the entire story. He didn't just commit crimes. He staged moments. He crafted fear. He engineered mystery. He made sure his symbol would outlive him. And today, the crosshair logo is still recognized around the world. Whether he is gone or still alive doesn't change the most unsettling truth. The Zodiac didn't want to be caught. He wanted to be remembered. And he succeeded. Even now, he exists in clues, in theories, in videos, in forums, in every unanswered question. And maybe that's exactly how he wanted it. Because the Zodiac's most powerful weapon was never the tools he used. It was control. It was attention. It was the story. And that story still isn't finished. Thanks for watching, and do not forget to subscribe to our channel for more true crime stories that will leave you questioning everything.